my gosh. Hi, everybody. Totally caught me off guard there. Welcome to the official, unofficial Survivor After Show. I've been gone for 2 weeks. I don't even know what's going on around here anymore.
You leave, and we are now the unofficial After Show.
We're now the unofficial After Show.
Yes.
But we're still here. So thank you for
Welcome
joining
back.
us. Thank you. It's nice to be back here at TheStreamTV talking about Survivor. And we'd love your tweets. There's some really good ones tonight I'm super excited about. So get on there, keep tweeting us, go on YouTube and join the conversation. And while you're here watching us, don't forget to push that button and subscribe to TheStream.tv. So, you ready to talk some Survivor?
You were back from Exile Island. God, Jerry.
Oh my gosh, it's been so hard for me to be away, and I'm so glad to be back. But
And last week you missed. I wish you would have been here. Jeff Garner getting voted off.
Yeah.
What I mean, as a fan of the show, knowing you and Jeff have a history of being on Survivor in the Outback together, and you're friends with him, what was it like watching him? What are your main thoughts about him going home?
well, the whole time I was watching last week's episode, I kept going, no, please don't let it be Jeff.
Yeah.
Please don't let it be Jeff. And it just, I saw how it was playing out, and I realized that it was going to be Jeff. And I got to tell you, this episode this week was lackluster because I didn't get any of his amazing sound bites and his personality, and I think he really fueled the show and made it exciting and interesting because you never knew what he was going to say.
Yeah.
So I think it was definitely missing in this episode. And you know what I wanted to talk to you about? There's an Xfinity article online where Jeff got interviewed, and he really bashed Tasha and Savage.
Bashed them.
I mean, when you read that, what were you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, there were so many things in that article that he talked about that we didn't see on the show, and he said that Tasha, he literally used the word bitch. He said was a huge bitch to him.
But he loves her.
That's
a total Southern thing.
And he said that Andrew Savage was egotistical and kind of, he's trying to be portrayed as Terry, but he's not a Terry. And there was a lot of good stuff. It's definitely a good article to read about Jeff. We actually did a blog post about it, and he shared a lot of things that we didn't get to see on the show, like Kimmy whispering things to him when they got their buffs changed, and some other tidbits that are really interesting.
Yeah, it was a little catty, I've got to say it, Jeff. And I would like to talk to you, actually, and see if you still feel the same way after, you've had some time to think about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm always a little bit worried when people come off the show and they're very angry and they just start bashing people. Because over a period of time, I know I experienced it. You start to feel a little bit of guilt for saying kind of harsh things about somebody. Because it was pretty harsh. But you guys should definitely read that article. It's pretty amazing.
Well, with Jeff gone, we got to see some new faces tonight.
Like Monica! Which, okay, let me just say for the record, all of you survivors out there, when you decide to throw your own viewing party, yes, Monica, I got your Evite. It's kind of a dead giveaway that you're getting voted off that night. So if you're going to throw a party for your voted off night, use someone else's name because I feel like the whole episode is spoiled from the Evite. Thank you, Monica.
Oh my gosh. Well, the fact that we saw Monica and Kimmy leading the episode and we haven't seen them in 4 episodes so far, it was like we know one of these two are going to go home if we're already seeing in the first 10 minutes Monica and Kimmy having a fight. That was like a dead giveaway that it was either going to be Monica or Kimmy.
It was before the opening credits even happened. It was already Monica versus Kimmy.
Yeah.
Because Monica, just to recap, did not want to get all the clams out of the water because she was afraid they were going to deplete the ocean.
It seemed like that was just probably the catalyst. Those two probably, I don't see them getting along really well. It just seemed like it,
It was so silly, and I love seeing Kimmy. I'm glad that she really stepped up on this episode and made some stuff happen. I'm really proud of you, Kimmy. It's great to see you playing hard in there, but I thought you almost completely lost it for a second. I was just like, oh no, here's another one of those really silly arguments that really don't mean anything in the grand scheme of things that end up blowing your game.
Well, I
was a little
really
worried.
think, it's interesting in a second chance we're still seeing Kimmy at the center of a food controversy, and we didn't get to see the finger wave that could have been with those clams, the finger wave.
I will eat clams.
We will eat the clams, and hopefully, we'll get to see some finger waving,
She's still got some spice. I love that.
Yeah.
And I guess she's a vegetarian pescatarian because clearly she's eating seafood. So
Do what you got to do on Survivor.
you know what? Let's go ahead and talk to Andy Dehnart, our lovely and amazing reality blurred guest every week who we love and adore. And I cannot wait to talk to him about a little bit about Jeff and also this whole Monica thing.
Yes.
Are you there, Andy?
I am. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hi.
Andy.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Welcome back, Jerri.
So what did you think about the whole Monica girls clam deeply in the ocean moment?
I mean, that was a great moment, in part because it was so bizarre and weird. It's like Monica wants to save all the clams, and so she's acting erratic, so we have to vote her out. I'm still trying to wrap my head around we have a 4-person alliance, and everything's good. And now we're going to, one person suggests they might want to have some other kind of alliance. And so the way we're going to prevent someone from breaking from our alliance is by breaking apart our alliance.
Yeah.
So that throws me a little bit. But I do love the whole clam thing and the fact that she was worried about the clam supply for the next 27 days.
That she clearly is not going to even need to tap into. What was interesting is, it seemed like, from what we saw, Monica was just trying to pitch to Kimmy, let's think about this, Spencer or Kelly. Maybe we keep Kelly because then she could come with us versus Spencer going with the boys. That's a normal, logical thought process.
No, it's
Yes, it
like
is.
a vagina alliance just because she's a girl.
No,
I
but-
don't understand why there's always girls that
Who
are like,
do you
let's
think Kimmy has
do a
more in
girl.
common with to have an alliance with, Spencer or Kelly Wigglesworth?
Oh, Kelly, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
So come down the line, someone like Kelly, if you can earn her trust, then she'll be loyal to you more. I don't know. That's kind of.
But that's because Kelly has human emotions and Spencer doesn't.
Oh no, I think he had his first emotion last week.
Oh, jeez. The Spencer storyline of him learning emotions on Survivor. I mean, come on.
Are they allowed to show someone getting their first emotion on CBS?
Apparently, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Look, should we do like a scoreboard for the rest of the season, as long as Spencer's around, like how many emotions he
Yeah.
experienced?
Oh my gosh. What was your moment? We ask you, every week, your moment of the night on tonight's episode.
I think it was just Monica's reappearance after sitting out the previous 4 episodes. I didn't know you were allowed to sit out the episode in addition to challenges, because she literally hasn't been on this season and then show up from nowhere. I didn't get the Evite, so I'm a little sad about that.
You know what it just made me think of? Did you ever watch Lost?
Yeah.
When the episode when they had those 2 characters come on and then they appeared and then died at the end of the episode. It's like,
Yes.
that was Monica tonight, like Lost, where she appeared and then she was gone. And it was just like, okay, bye Monica,
Yeah, I think we heard her talk for the first time last week.
I mean.
So it was a little strange.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, and you know what? I wasn't here last week, and I'm just curious how you felt about Jeff Varner getting voted off, and could you see how he was missing this episode? Because I know I could.
Your read is exactly right for me. I loved the episode last week, even though he went home. That was sad, but he's totally missing, and there's no one really filling that role of being a commentator that's sort of kind of on our side as the viewers. And it's funny because Steven Fishbach, I think, used to fulfill that a little bit, or at least had this kind of witty intelligence to him. And this season, the editors are just pummeling him and making him look so stupid. So I miss Jeff, and I miss Smart Steven also.
Aw.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of fans out there are probably thinking his presence was missed this episode, and you can't get away from it.
No, you really can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank
Hopefully
you.
he'll just come back and have a 3rd or 4th chance. But we talked about last week, I'm confident they will bring him back
100%.
and hopefully give him the Boston Rob treatment and just keep bringing him back until he wins.
Hold on. Let's stop the presses here. Let's get me back on there so that I can win first.
Survivor 4th chances right here.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Andy. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. And
Thank you both. Have a good night.
you
Yes,
too.
have
We'll
a
see
great
you
night.
next
We'll look
week.
forward to seeing your article tomorrow on your recap.
All right, you guys out there, go ahead and send in your Twitter questions, and we will come back from a commercial break and get right to them. There's some good ones tonight. See you in a second.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, this is for you.
I love it. That was freaking love it.
Oh my God.
I didn't see any of this coming. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
I was like,
How did you get here? No.
Like, kill him. Kill him. Definitely kill him. We're cool.
Shade. Shade left and right, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies, let's put your 2 cents in.
Rubbed me the wrong way in the right way.
but you were like, well, we want to know what's gonna happen.
That was cute.
We just want to say we love you all. Thank you so much for your support. You are all seriously the best in the world. and we
Another
appreciate
beautiful
you so
summer
much.
at TheStream.TV, y'all.
Here we go, guys.
Thank you for being here. Peace out.
Bye, guys.
I'm sorry, I just can't stop laughing about this unofficial Survivor after
This is
show
what
we're
happens when
doing.
you leave, Jerry. We have to rename the show.
Oh my gosh, it's so hilarious.
Thanks, Jer.
Welcome back, you guys. We are here at TheStream.TV with the official, unofficial Survivor after show.
Well, I've got some tweets that we took through the
Yes.
show. So.
Oh, by the way, I'm Jerri Manthey, and this is Justin
Introduce
Walter.
us now halfway through the show. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks. Get your game back on.
I know, I'm a little off.
There's a couple tweets. Here we go. BB Amber's Man 2 says, is Spencer about to lose his virginity? I thought that was hysterical because when they were showing his secrets of fishing and learning emotions, the music behind him was, yes, I think they were about to show that Spencer was going to lose his virginity.
It was very dramatic. Yes, it was, for sure.
T-Bird, who did not get on this season, unfortunately, says, Stephen Fishback now on Team Anchor. Sweet! Appreciate it, dude. And that was in response to during the immunity challenge when Stephen Fishback hit the wrong target for the wrong team.
That's right. We were both like, would that count?
And it did.
It totally
did.
counted.
It did. All right, we have Tracy P. and then numbers saying, quite frankly, Abby could use a heart transplant. And we will be
Funniest
talking
tweet
about that.
ever.
We were cracking
Hilarious.
up on that. And then the last, this is a good question from Armstrong Turan. Why keep the Monica vote from Spencer? Doesn't exactly inspire confidence. So why do you think they didn't tell Spencer that they were going to vote out Monica and told Spencer we're voting out Kelly? Because Spencer did vote for Kelly.
I don't think they really have anything to lose by not telling him. I mean, he proved his loyalty, and they proved their loyalty by keeping him around. So I don't think letting him in on the vote would have really mattered.
It's almost like the Tony, how you inspire loyalty, when Tony would always say, vote this way, and if you vote that way, when we vote someone else out, you'll be in our alliance. And I think maybe it was possibly because if they would have said, we're going to vote Monica, then that could have opened up a door for Spencer and Wigglesworth to go to Monica and say, hey, let's force a tie.
Absolutely.
And Monica in a second would have done it. So that's why I think, answering your tweet, that I think they didn't want a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So,
getting back to the whole Abby heart transplant
yes, oh my
thing,
gosh.
there was a moment on the show tonight where Wu tells the tribe about his mother's heart transplant. It was a very moving moment. And Abby's like, yeah, like my grandmother went through the same thing, except she didn't live. And oh yeah, by the way, I had a tendon transplant. It's like the same thing.
Twitter was blowing up on the Abby tendon thing.
Yeah,
and
not the same thing, Abby. You can die if your heart transplant goes bad. If your tendon doesn't quite work, you're gonna live.
It's like one of those moments where you're just kind of like, did she really say that? Like,
Yeah.
Abby. I mean, she's playing the villain. She is the villain this season. And it's just, I think when we saw Tasha talking to Abby and Abby was like, Woo's trying to win your sympathy and like, da-da-da. Tasha did a very good job of, you could just see in her face, yeah, you're right. Like, yeah, she's totally coddling Abby.
Yeah.
And which everybody in all of their interviews had said they have to do that, and it's a lot of work and really hard.
A lot of work,
And she, mentioned then that going in a merge situation, having an alliance with Abby is a lot of work, and it might not be something she can keep track of.
I mean, Abby is not playing a game to win.
No.
Her whole strategy is about just sticking out as long as you possibly can, but that is not a winning strategy.
Yeah.
You can't keep saying things and annoying people to such a degree and not expect at some point it's going to bite you in the ass. I mean,
Yet she is still there.
and I think she'll be there for a while because she's a good person to take to the end.
At a certain point, she's the person you want to bring to the end.
Yeah.
And
I think she'd be
you keep
happy
her
with
there.
second place.
Probably.
Which makes people want to take her there even
I
more.
would never be happy with second place on Survivor. No way. No way.
It sucks to get that close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just, by the way, I got to say, keep showing those baby monkeys because they are so cute. I mean, every time they put those little wrinkly guys up there, I'm just like, oh, they're like the cutest monkeys ever. So yeah, this whole trust and loyalty thing is like a really common theme this season, along with the old school versus the new school, because it came up again in Tribal Council. Like, how does the old school players, how do they play versus the new school? And I think Jeremy gave a really great breakdown of the differences. You know, the new school people are always scrambling and saying, who can I get out? You know, old school, they kind of like try to build the trust and loyalty and kind of sit back and be cool. So.
Well, and the fact that when Jeff Probst asked Kelly Wigglesworth, you know, why she should stay or what she was doing, and she said, you know, I've been working hard and hopefully that'll last me till tomorrow and they'll see that they can trust me. And then, you know, that's total old school.
It's so old school.
Which that shows that Kelly Wigglesworth, I don't think she's going to be, and I think we've realized that early on, she's going to be a huge contender to be a strategic threat. But what I did like was we saw that Kimmy, old school player, has completely adapted a new school mentality. She brought it tonight, and the vote in the blind side was because of Kimmy.
Yeah.
Kimmy caused in the blind side to get Monica out. If Kimmy wouldn't have led the charge to tell them that Monica was saying, let's keep the girls' numbers up, then, you know, it would have been Kelly Wigglesworth, and Monica still would probably be in this game. So Kimmy had the huge hand in tonight's vote.
She really did. I'm really proud of you, Kimmy. I'm glad I pushed for you to get on the show. So now that Jeff's
it
gone.
It always comes back to Jerry.
I know, I'm the one who helped you get there. Oh, no, really, I'm so proud of you, Kimmy. It's awesome. And especially since Jeff is gone, now I've got like my one Australian comrade still in there.
Well, and even approaching, you know, Jeremy and Stephen Fishback with that information that Monica did say, what if we voted off, you know, kind of just playing that idea out. Kimmy's also instilling more trust in Jeremy and Stephen, so they'll trust her more. Kimmy came to us right away. She gave us his information, and Kimmy put herself in a good position with Jeremy, which is I think a good thing.
Yeah, and Monica did, you know, broke rule number 1 in Survivor. Don't ever say you feel safe.
Yeah.
Like when she was sitting there in Tribal and she's like, oh yeah, there's absolutely no way.
And if you are in the majority of an alliance that wants to pick someone off and you know you're going to be safe, don't try and rattle it. Like, don't try and stir it up. But that's the thing, even though I say that, Monica really wasn't trying to change the vote. She just was in conversation saying something to Kimmy. And that's where I think it really became more of a personality issue than a strategic thing. I really think Kimmy was driven more so by her agitation and personality clash with Monica versus strategy. I think that's what led Kimmy to do what she did.
I think that was the whole setup at the beginning of the episode was the Kimmy versus Monica thing.
Yeah.
So I think Kimmy was just so agitated that it gave her a great reason to go after her. Whether it was a smart idea or not, I guess we'll have to figure out later on. But Monica's gone.
And it's, I mean...
I hope your party's fun tonight, Monica.
Oh my gosh. Girl. Well, it's interesting. 3 weeks in a row, you have members of the majority alliance in a tribe of 6 going home. So it's...
Oh, yeah.
3 weeks in a row, that's never happened, you know, on Survivor, where the majority could easily pick someone off, but they take out... The minority took out the majority, and then now the majority took out themselves.
Yeah.
So I think that's great setting us up for a season that's going to have so many changing alliances, which we saw that alliance of 5 on Takeo, that is not going to stay.
You don't think so?
Not long term. No way. Do you think it will?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think that's what makes this season so interesting is that it seems like everyone's willing to flip and flop. Even though they're accusing each other of doing that, they're all doing it.
Yeah.
And that's smart. You have to change and adapt as you go, and who knows where.
I just cannot. I would love to see Cass, Sierra, and Kelly Wentworth. I would love to see them be the final 3. I love those 3 ladies. That's a great trio. I think that eventually Joe will always have the problem that he's gonna get picked off because he's too big of a threat.
Yeah.
And Keith is someone you can easily vote off when you don't need his vote anymore because he's really not making moves. He said tonight, this is the first time people have approached me with strategy and alliances. I'm like, you were, at the end of your season. Are you kidding me?
He's so cute.
It's just kind of, I do not see that 5 sticking together as a really strong 5.
Right.
No way.
Well, I mean, and then, coming up next week, it actually looks like Cass might be leaving the game.
I bet it's not Cass. I bet she's giving commentary about someone on Takeo. My prediction would be maybe Terry or someone. Cass said this is like the worst thing imaginable. I feel like if it were Cass, they wouldn't show her. So I personally feel she's commenting on someone on her tribe. Maybe it's Sierra. Maybe it's something happened with Sierra and her family that she got information and news and then went home because we haven't seen Sierra at all.
Yeah, we haven't.
Maybe it's Sierra, which would be really sad. Whoever it is, whatever happens next week, it's going to be sad that someone's going to possibly taken out of the game because something happened at home. It didn't look like an injury. It didn't look like a sickness. It looked like something from back at home, right?
Bad news from home, which is, it's very rare. It's never happened where I think Probst has gone to the tribe and said, hey, something happened. There was that one episode with Jenna Maraska who left on her own accord because her mom had cancer and she had the feeling that her mom was going to pass away, and she ended up getting there just in time.
Right?
So, I mean, this is when the game becomes a real slice of life, and, it makes us all kind of have a little perspective on our catty comments. But I hope nobody got hurt, seriously.
No.
We'll find out next week.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, I just want to give out some shout-outs to some of the people who are posting our link all over the place and bringing us viewers. Keep doing the same thing. We love you. Reality Blurred, of course, Andy Dehnart. Survivor Fandom, allaboutthetea.com, mortystv.com, and tvfanforums.net, and Survivor Digest.
And we have links to all those sites in our description. They all have great recaps, great posts about Survivor. I love reading them, and you should definitely check them out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us again this week for another episode of the Survivor Official, Unofficial After Show. I'm your host, Jerri Manthey. This is Justin Walter, and we are happy to come back next week and talk to you some more.
It's going to be Halloween costumes.
Yay, TheStream.tv. Woohoo!